Hello everyone, Bashar here. So we are together with another raid video, and you can probably tell from the champion from my screen that we have something coming along for him. Plarium did something interesting by bringing the archer as a winner's reward only from a champion training tournament, which means only a few people around the world would be able to get her from that tournament instead of some sort of event that would be allowing us all to get her, a path event or a card flip event or whatever that is. So that's not happening, and I don't think so. From this point on, we do have around, I think, 2 weeks of time until the Monster Hunter collaboration ends, and I don't really think something that is going to give us the archer is going to happen. We might have maybe some progressive as last thing, but after this I don't there will be such happening. So the video is not about that, but these are the recent happenings, so I want to talk about that. So something interesting is happening, guys. Plarium is being generous, which we don't get to say a lot. So thing is, tomorrow we have a summon rush coming, as you know, right? There it is. Thing is, we are being allowed to double dip, like I have not seen before. So alongside with this summon rush, we will have some progressive events, which is regular, but we will also have a guaranteed summon event for Wight King Narses, right? We recently did the fusion for Ancora, and now we are going to get her partner Narses, and together they are pretty good. So Narses is an HP based nuker. Increases the cooldowns and cannot be resisted, so 50% chance of resisting the cooldowns, cannot be resisted. Not bad, right? Attacks everyone, ignores 25% of target's defense, and if they have shield or strengthen, he does another hit, which is pretty good. And so this cannot be, the damage cannot be decreased by passives such as Duchess or Pythian, right? Cannot be increased or decreased, which is pretty great. So Duchess and Pythian passives are irrelevant here. And attacks one enemy twice, increase damage inflicted with the skill by 10% for each buff on the target, which is of course again great for PvP because everyone has a lot of buffs. And also the buffs on this champion increased as well, which is pretty great. And if they have 3 or more buffs, blocks revive, and also gives an extra turn when we have the wife. We probably should have the wife at this point. And the passive is when they act out of their active turn, receives 50% less damage, which means counter attacks or that kind of thing. And if the wife is on the same team, he just does not get no damage instead, right? So you attack them, they counter attack, 0 damage, and also he ignores shield and strengthen. So guys, this makes an extreme combo with this, right? We ignore shield and strengthen, but we deal double damage with the A2 to targets with shield or strengthen. They don't get the benefit from strengthen or shield, but we deal double damage, which is going to be great. Nice aura as well. So that's the guy we are getting. The amount of HP is not bad. Speed is okay. Crit damage is a little bit extra. That's good. So we are going to have a guaranteed summon event for him for 110 Void Shards. And if you don't know how guaranteed summon events work, you open your Void Shards, right? And if you, by some miracle get this guy, it stops immediately, right? On an earlier shard. Let's say you open this guy on your 78 shard, then the event ends for you. But if you don't, you open up to your 109 shard, and then your 110 shard will contain this guy guaranteed, right? and it does not count towards your mercy. So let's say if your mercy is 60, you don't open any legendaries, but you get this guy, your mercy will be on 170, right? This guy does not, reset your, guaranteed events do not reset your mercy counter. So if you have the shards, if you have the money, I would suggest going for it. So I think myself, I have 40. Yeah, I have 40. So I need to buy 70, which will be no less than $140 and probably like around $7 or so, which I think I will be going for. A bit expensive, but it is what it is. So the extremely good thing here is, guys, this is during a summon rush, which means it means almost a free completion. If you are going for the legendary, a free completion of the summon rush, because 110 void shards are worth 13,200 points in a summon rush, right? And even if it's a big summon rush that ends at 15,000 points, you can squeeze in the 1,800 points somehow, which is going to be great, right? And if you have the shards at the ready already, all the better. And we also will have progressive events during the summon rush, so all of them at the same time: summon rush, progressive event, and the guaranteed summon event. Sadly, they have done a progressive event on extra turn champions, and sadly the void ones are pretty bad. So I myself am considering not even selecting the champions, because I would just prefer random legendaries over them. So let me go over them. The colored ones are, which will work for ancient shards, primal shards, and sacred shards, all of them, but separately, right? All of the shards will work for them, but separately. So let's say you opened your ancient shards, you got a legendary, and you go up to 20x, right? So your ancient shards will go up to 20x, not your primal and sacred shards. So Kyoko, Nekmotar, Candraphon, Gwendolyn, and Krokmar are the colored legendaries. Mistrider, Deity, and Deacon Armstrong are the colored epics, which are not bad, right? Nekmo, if you don't have him, he's the best leader in Hydra in the game, right? Gwendolyn is a pretty good Hydra champion. Krokmar also not bad. Candraphon is a good nuker. Kyoko is also not bad. So the colored ones are not bad, but sadly the void ones are Krutraxa and Supreme Alhain, and the epics are Gembo, the Dishonored, and Atlan the Golden. So thing is, Supreme Alhain is not too bad, but she is a previous fusion, and I do have her. And the people that went for fusions would have her. And Krutraxa is not that great. I would just rather prefer a random void legendary over the both of them. So I'm not going to be doing any picking, right? Instead of 15x on extra Supreme Alhain or Krutraxa, I would rather have a random void legend. I could of course get Angar or Fortus or the recently buffed guys or whatever bad void legendary it is, but also I could high roll Marichka Taras, and I would prefer the chance of high rolling Taras, Marichka, or whoever it is, a good void legendary over 15x on Krutraxa. So this event would have been mega fine if the 15x was not bad, right? But Supreme Alhain, as I said, is not very bad. So if you miss the fusion somehow, you could go for Supreme Alhain. And I'm not saying Krutraxa is bad, right? But I would rather get a random void legendary over getting a Krutraxa, because with voids the high roll can be extremely good, right? Taras or Marichka are extremely good champions. So as I said, we will be having 3 events at the same time: Summon Rush, the Viking Narses guaranteed summon event, and the 15x on these champions that I stated. I was going to say something else. No? Yeah, and if you don't know how progressives works, guys, you select one legendary from the ones I stated for each shard type, right? For example, you could do Ancient Shards, Nekmotar, and Misrider Deity, but you could go for Candraphone and Deacon for your Primal Shards. You could do the same thing, which you probably will, but you know, and Voids are separate. And when you hit a champion of the selected rarity, including the champion you have 15x of, the chances of getting that champion will go up to 20x. And then when you achieve it again, it's gonna go up to 25x and it's gonna stay there. So for example, if you open let's say 5 epics and you select Gambo, right? So first time you will have a 15 times the basic chance of opening a Gambo, right? The second epic will be 20x a Gambo, and you know, they could even be Gambo, that's not a problem. And then it will go up to 25x and will stay there at 25x, 25x, 25x. And that is of course a very good method of hitting epics. I mean, 25x is quite a bit, and you do actually hit it pretty quickly. So for example, if you need Deacon Armstrong for your Clan Boss team, right, that is a good opportunity to get him. And that's about it. So I think it's pretty nice, but of course, you know, 110 Void Shards aren't going to be cheap. If you have them at the ready, great, right? I would definitely suggest getting the champion. I have heard that the multipliers are not very good like with Fatalis, but I have also heard they are going to buff him. I don't really know. We'll see. I mean, I am rather of the opinion not missing a Void Legendary. And thing is, guys, I will invest the money, right? I will get the Void Champion, and I will also get to finish a Summon Rush, right? There will be the mythical book, there will be like multiple legendary books, there will be a lot of energy, there will be all the extra rewards, there could be an Eternal Soulstone in it, right? I mean, I think that is pretty good value, you know, Void Legendary plus all that, because as I said, normally guys, guaranteed summon events start on Tuesdays or so and end by Thursday, so they don't overlap with Summon Rush's release. This is the first time I think I see that a Summon Rush and a guaranteed summon event overlap, so you know, you do get the double dip on both, and the duration will be 3 days. That's also not a very bad amount. I mean, you know, you could wait for the Clan Boss to give you something and then you can decide. I mean, let's say you're on like 100 Void Shards, you get 4 or 5, then you can maybe finish it off with the monthly pack, whatever it is, right? And of course, we will all be hoping for some nice Void offers. As I said, I'm on 40, so I do have to buy 70, which is not a minor amount. And you should be around the same level if you have opened your Void Shards during the last 2x that we had. We'll see how it goes, and I will see you on stream. Bye bye.